Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. On behalf of the Columbia Southern University Career Services Department, I would like to welcome you all to the virtual information session with the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. We welcome you to ask questions, as there will be a time for questions and answers at the end of today's presentation. And at this time, I would like to present our speaker, Ms. Kenya Perez, who is the Talent Acquisition Manager for the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Kenya?
Positions that are available that fits every part of life, from engineering, administrative, and we'll go into that a little bit more in detail. But I also wanted to welcome my one of my coworkers, Stacey Murray. She should also be on the call. She's our Workforce Development Director, and she'll be talking more in depth about our internship program. So on our agenda, we'll talk about Dhec, how to apply, internships, interview tips, resume writing, then we'll have question and answer, and then we'll have our conclusion. First things first, you can't really move forward till you know a little bit about your history. So I always like to do a little factoid, and I found it very interesting as I was learning more about Dhec, just how it became established. And it's interesting that it really was established during a time similar to this, during this pandemic. And just a brief overview about how Dhec came to be. In 1878, South Carolina created its first Board of Health after a series of yellow fever outbreaks that killed 20,000 Americans. The Water Pollution Control Authority Board was added to the State Board of Health due to fish kills and polluted streams. In 1965, Air Pollution Control was added and renamed Pollution Control Authority. And in 1970, there was a brief organizational split. And in 1973, both organizations reunited to form what we know now as Dhec, Department of Health and Environmental Control. And just to tell you a little bit more about us, who we are are charged with promoting and protecting the health of the public. And we have more than 3,400 employees working in 100 locations across the state. And we have 4 divisions. We have the environmental affairs, health regulations, public health, and operations. These areas cover a whole gamut of areas. Dhec is with you in every area of your life. We're there when we're involved with birth certificates, death certificates, when you go to get food, when you see whatever grade letter a restaurant is rated. Dhec is involved with that. As far as Dhec is involved with the water, the testing of the water, nursing homes, hospitals, you name it. We're in every area of the public's life. And just tell you a little bit about Dhec's strategic plan. I have to go a little bit further about our vision. Our vision is healthy people living in healthy communities. And our mission is to improve the quality of life for all South Carolinians by protecting and promoting the health of the public and the environment. Some of our core values they're non-negotiables of our agency's character, defining how we interact with others, shaping our decision processes, and guiding our organizational beliefs about how we achieve our mission. That's through embracing service, inspiring innovation, promoting teamwork, and pursuing excellence. Now I'd like to discuss how you would go about applying to DHEC. You would go to our website, which is www.sc.dhec.gov. And you can see here, there's several links, and you can find the job and careers page, and you click search DHEC jobs. And then that will bring you to this next page. You can also do searches for positions. Maybe you're looking for a COVID-19 position. We have a lot of rapid hire positions. You can, so as you can see, we have 76 jobs that are currently available. You can change the view of how you look at the positions. However it makes it easier for you to read. You can sort the positions based on newest to oldest. As you can see, all of the new positions are filtered up first. You can also sort by job title in alphabetical order. You can also sort by the highest salary to the lowest salary at the top. And as you can see, we'll look at the Environmental Health Manager 2 position. As you see, this is one of our newer positions. And you see the posting date is 8/26/20 and the closing date is 9/6/20. Something to keep in mind is sometimes jobs will close before the closing date. So if you see a job that you're interested in, it's imperative that you act immediately and apply. At times we may meet our the needs that we have for that posting, and the position can close. So you should always try to apply before the closing date. They're all listed for agency, posting, closing, job type. It's a full-time position. This administrative assistant position is a temporary part-time. And the salary range is listed in the salary category. If you see this, see position description, it would say within the posting what the salary or hourly rate is. The location is also located here under the location tab. So you'll click on the Environmental Health Manager position if you were applying there. You can also click print so you could see a larger portion, a screen of the position. And it gives you a breakdown about the set. Let me just click the print so you can see what that looks like. So as you can see, it's a little bit more in depth, and it'll show you the state salary range. And what you're looking at is here, the agency hiring range. This is the range that we're gonna go by. This is just the band range for what the position, the starting and end salary, that it can't go beyond. But this is what you need to look at this as far as what the salary range will be. Here you'll see the job type, and you'll see the working hours, and it'll go in depth about the minimum requirements and additional comments if there are any. And also you'll have supplemental questions. You need to answer these questions. That's part of our screening process. It's really important that you really read the posting and apply what you read in the posting along with what your resume says, what your duties or your experiences have been, and have that all line up so that when your application is screened, it will align with the position that you're applying for. Any questions so far?
Hey, Kenya, actually, we're seeing your PowerPoint screen and not the screen you're referencing at this time.
Oh no. Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what the... Okay. I am so sorry, guys. I'm new at this. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, it's up there.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, let me go back so I can show you what I was doing. Let's see. Well, I was showing you how to get to the application page, and it brings you to this page, and you can look at the positions. And this is an Environmental Health Manager 2 position. You didn't get to see earlier, but there are 76 job positions. That's how you can tell how many we have. You can filter it how you want to view the position, whatever makes it easier for you to read. You can also sort it by newest, oldest, alphabetically, by salary. And what you would do is click on the posting, and you could actually print it so that you could look at it in another view. And this is where you will see the opening and closing date, the title. This is where you would look at the hiring range. This is what you'll go by as determining what range that you could be considered as far as a salary. And the job type will list if it's full-time, part-time. If you need to know the working hours, they would be listed here. And if you scroll down, you can read the job responsibilities. And I said earlier, make sure that your experience aligns with what the posting says. It'll help really enable us when we screen the applications that you could meet the qualifications if a lot of the duties and experience are aligned with the posting. You should also look at the minimum requirements. This one has a high school diploma and experience in environmental health and programs, so you would need to highlight that on your application that you have those experiences. And here we have an administrative assistant position. This is one of our rapid hire positions, COVID-19 positions. It's a temporary part-time position, and it's listed as a clerical and data entry position. See, if you can see here where it says the salary, it says see position description. Typically when you see that, you need to click on the posting, and within the body of the posting, you can see. Can everyone see that? Chastity, you can see this, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. And as you can see, the location is listed as Orangeburg County. And if you move a little further, it discusses that it's a temporary position, projected up to 6 months or less. And here you can find the rate of pay, which is $15 an hour, the work schedule, the work site in Orangeburg, and then the job duties would be listed below, along with the minimum additional requirements, having a high school diploma and 2 years of clerical office experience. So definitely have a high school diploma and highlight on your application, because we don't look at the resume. So make sure that you're putting everything that's important that would make your application stand out from your resume. So if you have any, even if you were in an internship or it was volunteer work, that still counts. So put that information down. Any questions so far? Well, I wanted to move along with internships and segue to Stacy Murray if she's on the call.
Yes, I am.
Hey, Stacy. Yes. Hey, Stacy.
Hi. How is everyone?
This is our workforce development director, and she's going to talk a little bit more about our internship program. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you. And my apologies if I go in and out a little bit. I've been getting just some feedback about my connection, so I hope I don't cut in and out and everyone's able to hear me okay. But just to give a little bit of information and update on where we are as far as our internship process is concerned. Previously, we had a link on our career pages section where individuals could access a link to share their interest in internship opportunities. That link is not there and active anymore due to the fact that most of the focus as far as hiring and placement as well as student engagement is concerned is specifically around COVID-19. And as far as capacity as an agency is concerned to receive the influx of that information and try to match it with COVID-19 is just not where we are at this point in time. However, we do receive, specifically I do receive, and if Kenya receives it or anyone else receives it, they'll send requests for internship opportunities or inquiries or resumes to me. And then we share that information with our divisions and our departments throughout the agency. So we ask our divisions and our bureaus to inform us and keep us informed of any type of special needs they have, any projects that they have, especially as we're in the midst of COVID, even outside of COVID. So we can match our students and anyone interested in those types of opportunities with those departments and those divisions. So currently at this time, we are receiving and fielding interest and inquiries for internship opportunities via just sending us an email. And please be sure resumes are attached, because that's the information that we're sharing with our managers, supervisors, and hiring managers, because they want to see what skills the individuals already have, or what skills could be helpful and applicable to what they need at the particular point in time.
Thank you, Stacy.
Mm-hmm. And just let me add that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No. We are a public health agency, but we do look for and want students who have interests outside of public health to please, engage with us, because not only do we have public health, we have social work. We have an entire legal department. We have finance. We have human resources. So many times, folks overlook the fact that we do have all those other opportunities as well. So we like to be sure we share that too. Sorry, Kenya, that's it.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate that. I know internships are a great way to network and learn new areas or your areas of interest, because sometimes you could find out it's not really something you want. And through your internship, you might find something else that better aligns with what you're passionate about. And Dhec has, as Stacy said, we have an array of jobs that would fill anybody's need as far as their background experience. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Stacy.
Of course, thank you.
The next thing I'd like to go over is our virtual interviewing. We are at a time in our life right now that many of us are having to adapt. I know I'm having to do it, and it feels so awkward. But we are all having to do things virtually when we're used to doing things in person, and we have to kind of find a new way to do it and engage with the employers to make sure they know that we're interested. And by doing so, a lot of companies are having to adapt to virtual interviewing. So I just want to give you guys some tips on how to conduct yourselves during a virtual interview. And what to wear. Everything kind of goes the same in person or even on the video. What to wear for a video interview. And you should avoid bright colors and patterns and opt for softer colors instead. That's a big thing. And if you are wearing a tie, or wear a solid color rather than a pattern. If you wear glasses, adjust the lighting in the room to reduce glare from the lenses. Wear professional pants or a skirt, just in case you need to stand up. We've seen a lot of those TikTok videos where people get up, or, in this time we're dealing with students working, studying at home, and the camera's just everywhere. So you never know when you have to get up or get a piece of paper. Only wear simple jewelry to keep from distracting from the interview. There could be a glare, so you want to be very minimal. Video interview body language. It will definitely convey over the camera. You see when people look uncomfortable, if they look comfortable. So you have to be aware of your body language if you're fidgety or moving too much. And some of the tips would be when you speak, you want to direct your gaze at the webcam. Keep your mood upbeat and convey optimism. And this can be achieved by good posture. When you're listening, nod and smile. When appropriate to communicate, that you're giving them your full attention. So make sure that they know that you're engaged and you're paying attention and you're focused. Use hand gestures when it feels appropriate. Keep your movements close to your body. Avoid fidgeting or letting your gaze drift away from the device. Practice tech setup. I had to do that today. Nothing is a guarantee with technology. There are hiccups, so it's always good to do a run through. So clear the desk space, except for a notepad and a pen, a pencil for you to take notes. Have that handy and available so you're not looking for that at the last minute or during the interview. Have a copy of your resume and other notes ready for you to reference. Set a glass of water, bottle of water for yourself to clear your throat or you get a dry mouth. Check that your webcam is working. Do like a test run. Check that your audio is working properly. Close any window tabs or applications on your computer that you're not using. Set your phone to silent. Check the background behind you and make sure it's at neutral and free from any kind of clutter, because that could be distracting. You could be have an interview and have some poster or something that's distracting and will lose the attention during the interview. Adjust the lights in the room. If things appear dark or dim, you may want to bring in an extra desk lamp to brighten the space. And lastly, why do things always go wrong? We're talking about technology. Nothing's a guarantee. So if things go wrong with technology, there's always a chance things could go wrong. So you should always have a backup plan just in case. So for example, if your video or audio stops working, before the interview, ask the interviewer for a phone number where you can reach them if you experience technical difficulties. If noise interrupts the conversation, like a siren or construction during the interview, apologize for the interruption. Ask for a few moments until the noise has subsided. You may want to mute the microphone if the noise is severe. If someone enters the room unexpectedly, what you need to do, like if it's a family member or a pet, my dog is sitting here sleeping, thank goodness. You just apologize, ask for a few moments and mute your microphone and turn off your camera, and then step away to deal with the interruption. And those are just some helpful tips to help you during this time. Prayerfully, we'll get back to where we were before, but no one knows when that's going to be. So until then, this is going to be our new normal. Okay, now I'd like to share some resume tips. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this, Chastity. Okay, how to write a resume. Any questions so far? I hope I'm not moving too fast.
You're doing a great job, Kenya. We did have a question that came up and said, is this virtual for people that reside in the area of South Carolina at all? Like any of the opportunities?
Are any of them remote or?
Yes.
Like for remote positions?
Yes.
And we have had those positions that we have had remote positions. I don't know if Stacy's still on, but as I can recall right now, I don't recall any that are remote at this time. We have a lot of some nursing positions that you could work remotely, like within the area. Maybe there's a nursing job in Charleston and you can kind of work remotely within that area. That's the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm happy to give my email address, or Chastity, you could provide it, and I certainly could look further for anyone in particular that wants me to look for a specific job that's remotely.
Thank you. I'll definitely provide your email address for them.
Okay, perfect. Please let me know if there's any questions. I'm just going to go through the resume writing skills. The first thing is list your accomplishments and some of the good keywords to use. Money saved, time saved. Show how you problem solve something, a career growth initiative that you undertook. Those are always great to express and highlight on your resume, things that you accomplished, so that your potential employer can see that you're goal oriented and you know how to take on tasks and problem solve. Maybe there's a time you save the company money, and if you're looking for a job in that area, that would definitely win them over. Dissect the job opening, and we kind of discussed that as I was showing you some of the positions that we had available. and some of the points for you to think is, are you able to do the job? Are you a good fit? Is it something that you think you would be good at? What qualifications does the employer want? Research the company and really kind of get an idea if this is what you want to do and if you think you would be a really good fit for that position. Some of the contents of your resume would be, of course, your name and the contact details would be at the top of your resume, the headline, and a resume summary, just kind of summarizing what overall is your skill set, what overall, if it's administrative work, just summarize all those jobs kind of in one, just kind of giving some adjectives to really express your abilities to do that type of work. Also, your work experience, educational qualification, listing any specialized skills or important rewards would also be attractive. And the resume summary is just a snapshot, like a paragraph, showing why you would be a rock star, be perfect for the job, showcasing that you're awesome, and then you customize for each job that you're applying for. So your resume you may have to tweak your resume depending on what job. And some of us have had a variety of jobs in many areas. And as you apply for a job, a lot of times you would have to make adjustments to those resumes to fit the job that you're applying for. Identify accomplishments. As I said earlier, talk about if you had any great sales. Did you save the company money? Storytelling in a resume, add life to your resume, give a short story, of course, be truthful, and I did X and the result was Y. One of those things, just problem solving, letting them know that you know how to take on a challenge and you know how to get the job done. Power words for your resume, some great power words to use that really stick out. Solved, that you were able to manage something, you developed, created something, you presented, you completed, you negotiated, you pioneered, invented, came up with something, you led a group, an organization, you led some kind of task or project. Some keywords on your resume. Job advertisements have specific keywords that show what employers value or require. Naturally weave in a few of those keywords on your resume. Provide context or examples related to those keywords. And as I said earlier, it's really important that you dissect the jobs that you're applying for, really looking and scrutinizing the posting. Looking for those buzzwords that you could incorporate in your resume to really make your resume stand out and show that you are a good fit for that position. Some cliches that you should avoid that are just kind of overdone and overused are results driven, that you're a team player. People have that all the time on their resume, that you're a people person, you're highly motivated, you're a self-starter. Those are words that no one really uses anymore. So you have to be really creative and think outside the box. Some resume mistakes that you should be mindful of are misspelled words. That's a big thing. Always proofread your resume, have someone else look at it again. Do your resume, take a break, come back an hour later and look at it again. I've had to do that a lot just with emails. It's easy to read something and misread it. You're reading with the intent that the correct information is there, but it's still misspelled. Tiny fonts, that would be really difficult for someone to read. You want to make sure that it's a good enough font size that someone can read and they don't have to squint and really struggle to read. Using jargons and unprofessional email addresses. You want to make sure that, you could have any kind of email address you want. You could have several, but if you have something that has, something that's just not appropriate, that doesn't professional, you might want to establish another account for your professional work. Again, as I said, proofread your resumes. Make sure that you don't use casual language. Customize your resume for each job, because every job will require your resume to be adjusted to suit the position. Give examples of how you used your skills. Read and understand job requirements. Have clearly labeled section headings and good spacing. It's good to have good spacing because it makes it easier to read. If it's too crammed up and all jumbled together, it really makes it difficult for someone to easily read your resume. Research the company and ask, why do you research? To better target your resume so that you can really customize your resume based on that company. To be knowledgeable about the company, you need to read the company's website, their social media pages, their mission. We went over that with Dhec. Know their mission and values. You can incorporate that in your application, in your resume, excuse me. When you do your summary at the top of your resume, you can incorporate some of those values as far as the company's mission. Applicant tracking system. Most resumes will be scanned by applicant tracking system, and we have that as well, especially with our applications, but not with the resume. But some people have with their resumes. But that's why it's important and very critical that you read the postings, read the postings, because you need to use those buzzwords as long as they meet what you already are doing. That you don't want you to lie. If you are doing a job and it's on your application, you've had those experiences, you need to merge those into your resume, because when you submit that to an employer, they're looking for those buzzwords to see, are you doing some of those key duties that job requires. There's also spell check, so you have everything at your fingertips to make sure that you have a good, professional, clean resume. There are different types of resumes. There is reverse chronological, functional, skills-based resume, and a combination of chronological and functional. So the most common format is the reverse chronological, which shows your career path and growth progression in an easy to follow manner. And then you have, then you can list your list, sequentially the list, work experience and accomplishment, and proceeding backwards, listing previous jobs. Functional skill base prominently lists the key skills that you have. All your work experience and accomplishments are categorized under each respective skill, and used when you have gaps in employment, little work experience, held a lot of unrelated jobs, trying to change your career, and showing transferable skills. That's when you use the functional skill-based resume. The combination hybrid resume is a combination of chronological and functional, where you list job positions and segments each job based on key skills, like your analytical skills, decision-making, and your major accomplishments are listed under respective skills. You then repeat the process for the other jobs that you have held in the past. The resume length, a resume should be between 1 to 3 pages, depending on how much you work and how much you've achieved. Nowadays, you can keep your resume brief, detailing online professional profile, including links to your profile like LinkedIn. And then you have your resume checklist. Is your name included, or your contact information? Have you moved? Have you updated your resume? So always be mindful that you have your new phone number. If you change your number, proofread it, have someone else read it for you, just to make sure that everything is accurate. And resume references. You don't need to write the references, will be available on your resume. So that's not, people used to do that before, but on a separate sheet of paper, you can document who have that available when it's needed. Write the name, title, their names, their titles, their contact, and you should have at least 3 references. Writing your biography. It's important to invest time to write a brief personal biography about yourself so that it's developed and up to date along with your resume. And the resume should be written, the bio should be written in third person, which explains who you are, what you've done, what you want to do, your credentials, experience, key skills. Routine maintenance. After you've written your resume and successfully gotten the job, that should not be the end of it. A resume is a living document, which you should regularly review and update at least on a quarterly basis by adding new accomplishments. That's really key to do because sometimes I don't know if you're like me, if you don't keep things up to date and current, you may forget some of those key items and duties that you did. So it's really important as you progress in your field or advance professionally, you should continue to make those adjustments to your resume so you're not having to remember and recall that information. And that concludes my presentation regarding resume writing. Were there any questions?
We did have a question come in asking about positions in the information technology field.
Let's see, positions in the information. We do have positions. Let's look at that real quick. Can you see the screen or I need to share it again? Let's see, new share.
We can see it.
You can? Okay, perfect. So, information, you said?
Yes, in IT.
Okay. And you could do a search, but you would kind of have to know what the title is. Let's see. See, I'm doing a search, and we could pull up anything regarding computers, or sometimes I find it helpful because you just never know what the title will be. Personally, I would just, since there's not that many jobs, I would just kind of go through the tabs, not unless you know specifically what the job is. We do have this systems program. I'm not sure whoever's asking the question what your experience is. I see we have this at, I don't know, that's not a research planning administrator. I don't know if that's in line with what the person is asking, but we do have a few IT positions. I just would encourage you to check weekly our career page because our positions are always changing. They're opening and closing all the time. We do hire for IT computer type positions. The person can definitely, Chastity, you could give them my email address and I'd be happy to look at your resume and I could screen it and see what we have available. And then I could send you an email with the link so you could apply to that position.
Thank you. I can definitely do that. I'll provide them with your email address.
Okay. Any other questions?
At this time, I'm not seeing any questions, but at this time, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them now.
As I said, Chastity will have my email address, and if you have any, sometimes people just rather ask privately, and I'm always checking my email all day. I work remotely some days, and I'm always have my laptop available, so I'm always responding. You could also, we have a LinkedIn for Dhec, but the positions are always changing. We have new positions that are always being posted weekly. No questions? I guess everybody's shy, Chastity.
I believe so, but we would like to thank you for joining us today for this presentation. And Like Kenya said, if you all have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to reach out to me and I can provide her contact information. And we also would like to say that in our Career Services Department, we assist with resumes, interviewing skills, also your cover letters, any of your job-related correspondence, we are welcome and able to assist with. So feel free to reach out to us at 800-977-8449 at extension 6551. And thank you guys, and you guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you, everyone.